Welcome to Let's Talk Football with me, Chris.
And me, Richard.
The podcast bringing you the latest in football news. Every week we discuss all the big action points from the world of football and discuss all the action in the week to come.
In this week's podcast, Scott Parker becomes the first managerial casualty of the season, losing his job just 4 games into the season after their 9-0 loss to Liverpool. Haaland comes to the rescue for City as they come from behind to beat Crystal Palace. And there are wins for Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham and Arsenal too.
With lots to get on with, and of course it's the last couple of days of the transfer window. Let's talk football. Welcome everybody.
Hello everyone.
It's another week, another podcast.
Indeed.
So yeah, I mean, let's just get into it this week. Scott Parker then.
For whom the bell tolls, it tolls for Mr. Parker.
It does. Probably one of the earliest we've seen in Premier League.
Yeah.
But I don't think really the results were the driving force for this. If I'm honest.
It was his mouth more than anything, I think, wasn't it?
I think, yeah, because if you read the statement that Bournemouth put out, it seems very much to me Scott Parker wanted some money to spend. The board said no, and they may have had a bit of a discussion that wasn't very calm.
Yeah. Back me or sack me, essentially.
Yeah,
and they decided to do the latter.
Mm-hmm. See you later, Scott. Thanks for your service.
Yeah, bye, Scott. Shame.
But yeah, and I think for Bournemouth fans, I think, you know, I don't know really how they feel about the fact that Scott was just like, well, give me a chance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's for Scott Parker. That was kind of what he wanted, wasn't it? He was like, well, give me a chance.
Yeah.
Because he'd been through it with Fulham.
Yeah,
the same sort of situation.
The same sort of funds.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I can't go through this again.
Yeah.
We're here at Bournemouth.
They proved on the first day beating Villa that they are capable of beating the teams that are going to be around them.
Yeah,
as you said, obviously,
absolutely.
Take out the Liverpool game, take out Man City and Arsenal. You know, they've had a horrendous start fixture-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a good start.
Yeah, they had a good start against Villa. Yeah, another 2-3 players, and I think Bournemouth could have. You know, they'll probably still go down at the end of the season, Bournemouth, but they could have competed.
Yeah, and I think that's obviously and he was making that point very clearly, obviously, in all of his press conferences.
And I think them to be competitive.
Yeah, and I think that was probably what irked the board. Maybe was how vocal publicly he was being about the situation.
But then he's backing his players as well because he's saying, "Come on, give me the tools. These guys are all right. Otherwise, they'd be gone. They wouldn't be there if they weren't all right, or to the point that if they haven't bought anybody in, that's what he's got to work with."
Yeah.
It's a really bizarre situation. Yeah. And I don't know who takes over. I genuinely have no idea.
No, I don't know either. I mean, they need to find someone. Sean Dyche's name's been mentioned.
Yeah, but Sean Dyche will wait for a better prospect, won't he? He'll wait for a Leicester to come along or an Everton, perhaps.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
One name that did spring to mind was Dean Smith.
Mm-hmm. Yes, possibly.
Obviously, he has Premier League experience. He has the experience of working with a budget.
Yeah.
Is he going to get? Is he just going to end up back in the Championship like he is now with Norwich? Probably.
Yeah. But I think for Bournemouth fans though, you know that your transfer window is finished.
Yeah.
Because that was obviously the issue. That was probably one of the issues anyway. Was that we're not going to spend anything on anyone else? Maybe a couple loans or whatever. Yeah. But now you've got. Who's driving the ship?
Yeah, if they end up going out and buying a £20 million, £30 million on players, Scott Parker is going to be livid.
Exactly, yeah. I think your transfer window's done, Bournemouth fans.
Sounds like it.
Which is unfortunate for you. But yeah, I mean, the drubbing was what it was at the weekend.
Yeah.
Liverpool, you're always going to get a reaction from Liverpool.
After losing to you, yeah, definitely.
After losing to United and having the sloppy sort of start that they have had to the season.
They join a very exclusive club.
Mm-hmm.
Because not many teams have scored 9 in the Premier League. Can you name the rest of them?
Well, I think obviously United have done it. Multiple occasions.
Yeah.
Chelsea they did it once, didn't they? Did Chelsea not do it?
Chelsea hit 8. They've never hit 9.
It was 8. Yeah, I'm thinking of that one.
Mm-hmm.
2
unlikely ones probably for the final 2. There are only 4 teams.
Okay, so yeah, Liverpool, United, I don't know then. Are they still in the league?
Yeah,
I mean, if it's Tottenham, something's gone seriously wrong.
we beat Wigan 9-1.
Yeah, I knew that was why you wanted to bring this stat up, to be honest.
And who were the last team?
Not Arsenal then.
Nope.
I'm assuming, because again, we wouldn't be talking about this if it was portraying Arsenal in a positive light. I don't know. Let's say Everton. Leicester. Who did they smack?
They beat Southampton 9-0.
Oh yeah, of course they did, because we smacked them 9-0 the season after.
Yeah. There you go.
Of course it was. Well, there we are. 4 teams. Lovely stuff. So yeah, unlucky for. But well, I'll say unlucky. They didn't play very well.
No, defensively, they were shocking. Obviously, there were
Liverpool
a few worldies that went in. Alexander-Arnold's one was beautiful.
Yeah,
but the marking from some of the goals was horrific.
Yeah, not ideal. But Liverpool back in business.
Yeah.
And they needed it. Whether they'll go into the transfer market for a midfielder.
Jurgen Klopp seems to suggest that they might.
They might be, so keep an eye out for that on deadline day. Right then, next up, I mean, the other big game really where I thought was anything proper interesting happening this weekend was the Palace City game, or City Palace game. When I see the score and Palace are 2-0 up, I'm going, what's going on here then?
Yeah. Have City had a man sent off?
Yeah, it was odd. But Bernardo Silva got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And then it was over to the main man.
It was over to the main man, and they gave him so much space in the box.
Yeah.
Alice.
Well, he finds it.
He
doesn't
does.
He, I think.
His movement was very, very good, particularly for the second goal of his.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, he just pulled away to the back post. John
Yeah,
Stones used the shot, and he just tapped it in. Yeah.
That's what strikers do, you know. They find the space in the tight areas, and that's what they've paid the big money for, and that's what they're going to get from him.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just it's too easy. Scoring goals for him is too easy.
Yes, it's far too easy.
Like it is playing FIFA on amateur mode. I'm sure that's what he does.
Yeah.
That is Erling Haaland in a nutshell for me. He's just on another level.
Yeah,
and it's. The scariness is happening all the time now.
Yes, because now he's found his feet. That won't be the last hat-trick.
Definitely not. Definitely won't be the last one. But City, yeah. I mean, they did what they did. They find a way. Obviously, they did dominate.
Mm-hmm.
And that gave Haaland the opportunities.
Obviously, first half, Crystal Palace could get the ball out, and they were getting the ball forward, and they were looking dangerous on the counter.
Yeah, they were doing exactly what they did against Liverpool, weren't they? That's what the game plan was. It was match it, trust your players on the break.
Yeah.
They get the bit of luck with the own goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you go, okay, and then again they get the break, and Anderson gets the second. You think, oh great. I mean, Palace will be disappointed because they were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Obviously, they wouldn't have been expecting anything beforehand.
No.
From that game for them.
As soon as Manchester City pen you in like that, they're just going to keep bashing you into you.
Yeah. It's the relentless machine, and then, like you say, when you've got someone, the finishing ability, the instincts of a Haaland, at some point the ball's going to fall to them, but it happened 3 times.
Yeah.
And they got up when they win 4-2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, positive stuff for City fans. Unfortunately. Right, where to next? Let's go to Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
Because I have to say, actually, this performance from Chelsea was impressive.
It was, yeah, given they lost Gallagher early. Yeah.
Yeah, you lose Gallagher after half an hour.
2 very silly fouls. The second one in particular, like, you're on a yellow card, don't do it again.
It's daft.
Yeah.
It's daft. And then finally, Raheem Sterling is finding his feet as well at Chelsea.
Yeah, two very good goals from Raheem.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I think very typical Sterling type goals as well.
Yeah. Just nipping in.
Exactly. Doing what he does. Getting in there. And then Harvey Barnes scores 3 minutes afterwards. You think, okay, Leicester are just showing nothing. I'm just not seeing anything from Leicester this season.
To be fair, Leicester, they hit the bar later.
Yeah, but I mean, you're playing. I know it's Chelsea.
Yeah.
But you're playing against 10 men. You're a team that's fought for Europe in the past and want to continue to do that. But you've got to put more in. You know what I mean? You should be challenging. You should be a lot closer to Chelsea at 10 men.
Yeah.
Considering where you want to be as a football club, and
how long they had against 10 men as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Brendan Rodgers has struggled. Basically, I think the last, if you were to put the calendar year in,
Yeah,
the
probably.
last 8 months, they have struggled a bit, Leicester, and those signs of that team have kind of come to an end. But then the signs were there the back end of last season, and for whatever reason, Leicester have done done no business.
Obviously, they're going to lose Fofana. I think they're
losing Fofana.
Confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah, Fofana's probably going to. Well, probably by the time you hear this, he's already a Chelsea player. Yeah. Kasper Schmeichel's gone, which is a massive loss in terms of character as well as his goalkeeping ability definitely. In that dressing room.
It's just
Vardy's got an extra year in his legs.
Yeah.
Tielemans wants out. He's not going to sign a new deal this year, so are they going to try and cash in on him?
Potentially.
I don't know whether Leicester have been are purposely waiting for deadline day stuff to all kick off.
Maybe it's a bit of a gamble to do it though.
It is odd. It's just odd.
No.
They might be going, well, what money can we get for Fofana? Okay, well, they're definitely going to want another centre half.
Yeah. Are they going to spend all the money they've got?
They're going to be short. That's it.
Because everyone now knows they've got 70 million in the back pocket.
Yeah. They need a goalkeeper because Danny Ward, with all the best will in the world, I don't think
he's not a number one.
He's going to He's not going to be able to perform consistently at this level.
Yeah.
At the level, especially the standard that Leicester fans have come to expect in recent years.
Yeah.
Tielemans, like I said,
wants out,
he's
and he'll be out of contract next season anyway.
Exactly. This is his last year on his deal. So they haven't. I'm surprised no one's kind of. I mean, I would be surprised if no one hasn't come in and kind of tempted.
Arsenal seem to be the most likely destination if he's going to go anywhere before Thursday. Yeah.
But then it's like, well, what have you done? Do you know what I mean? You'd think they'd got stuff lined up, but they haven't. No. Well, it doesn't appear that they have. Then
no.
I don't see anybody linked with Leicester.
No. There's nothing unless they're doing very cloak and dagger. Yeah.
Yeah, you see nothing like Leicester linked with who? No, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. No. Couldn't tell you who they're linked with. Maybe local newspapers know a bit better than me, but it's bizarre. It's so strange. Bizarre.
Yeah.
I think they're going to struggle this year, Leicester. I thought they'd be. I thought they've still got that quality in their squad. I thought they'd be all right.
Yeah.
But actually, having seen them at the start of this season, it's not looking good.
Brendan Rodgers is next on the chopping block
potentially, but you don't know what's going on because obviously they haven't signed any players.
Yeah, so Brendan's obviously been told, look, we haven't got the funds, or we haven't got to bring.
For whatever reason, they haven't bought anyone. So is that because Brendan hasn't gone out and said definitely who he wants? I doubt it.
No.
He probably knows what he wants. He's been a football manager for many years now. So I find that hard to believe. And it's just like you've got to give Brendan Rodgers a chance. Everyone else has improved their squads. And Leicester are still worse off. They're worse off.
Yeah, they are worse off. Yeah.
They're going to be, even without Fofana leaving, they've already lost Schmeichel.
Yeah.
But they are worse off as a squad, as a team, as a club. Yeah. And so they were always going to go backwards. But they could be in a proper bother.
They could be in a relegation battle this year. No
but a lot of that will depend on what happens over the next few days or whenever you're listening to this, if anything did happen.
Yeah.
In the closing days of the transfer market. So Leicester, I think, have got a lot to worry about, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a Leicester fan. I'm concerned.
Definitely.
One side
that did make a move, Alexander Isak is in the Premier League. Hello.
Yes. Yeah, he's record buy for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Coming in, a big deal for them.
56 million pound.
Yeah, big deal, 56 mil. We know he's a talented boy.
Yeah. He's
going to have to adapt to the Premier League, but I think he's got all the attributes in him. He's quick, he's powerful.
Yeah.
He's got ability on the ball. There are opportunities out there, and quite nicely of Newcastle, they've taken him off of Real Sociedad.
Yeah.
Who Manchester United play in the Europa League, which is very nice because So thank you very much, Newcastle United, for that, and we appreciate that.
They've taken away a striking option on Football Manager for next season.
True, very true. You're gonna have to look elsewhere, but yeah, is he prolific? No, but he's going to give him a lot of pace and a lot of purpose going forward.
As well.
And he's young, so that that experience being in front of goal can come. I think the pace in their attack now, and they will be doing a lot of counter attacking Newcastle.
They will, yeah.
To have St Maximin and Isak up front.
Yeah. Almiron as well. Yeah.
Almiron's quick. Yeah. Guimaraes.
Yeah.
Has also got a bit about him.
He can find the balls through to him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they've had a good start anyway, Newcastle.
Yeah.
I mean, they did draw obviously at Wolves, but overall, I mean, it was a rescue point, and what a goal that was, by the way, by Maximin.
Yeah. Some
great finish on the volley. So Newcastle doing bits. Have they got anything else up? I have a feeling Newcastle are going to have something else up their sleeve.
Yes. Yeah, they're going to have at least one or two.
I think so. I think there's going to be something else at Newcastle. I think deadline day is going to be Newcastle's day.
Yeah.
Are they? I don't see on this level, but it could be kind of a Rubinho day, maybe.
Yeah.
For
Do you know the first name that came to mind when you said that? Marco Asensio. He's not wanted by Real.
Yeah.
Up price deal for somebody.
Yeah, if they want him. So I just have a feeling. I have a feeling Newcastle could have a like a Rubinho deadline day, something of that.
Something just going to come completely out of the blue. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel they're probably the club where it's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
If you were to look across the Premier League right now.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick chat about Arsenal and their start to the season.
Do we have to?
Yes, because I think we have to, because they've been brilliant. They have been very, very good. Yeah. Mitrovic tried his best, got the goal.
Yeah.
But I thought the way that they reacted to that Arsenal, because they hadn't necessarily been playing their best football. No. But it was almost as if Mitrovic scored and then Arsenal went, oh, we better play some football now.
Odegaard's goal was very good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then obviously Gabriel then gets the winner.
Yeah.
Close to the end of time, but there's nothing like scoring a late winner.
No. No. And that's a game last season Arsenal probably would have lost.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. But they have got the big test.
Yeah.
The big test coming up for them this weekend. Obviously, there are midweek games happening too, which you probably already know about.
I mean, I've just seen who they're playing. That's not the big test.
No, the big test comes Sunday for them.
The big test comes in a couple of weeks' time.
The big test on Sunday when they go to Old Trafford, because like it or not, from a footballing point of view, United are on an upward trajectory. The performance they put in against Liverpool was surprising.
Yeah.
They're going to have the boost of probably Casemiro starting his first game, I would think, at Old Trafford at that point. Mm-hmm. Anthony's going to be around, and it will be more of a test. It will be more of a test for Arsenal than what they have done. I'm not saying we're brilliant.
What do you think on the fee you've paid for
Anthony? We have been awful. What do I think on the fee? I think we're at a point now where there's a player that we wanted, there's a player that Ajax didn't want to sell.
Yeah.
I think every football team on earth knows that Manchester United need footballers.
Yeah.
And we're in the Europa League, we're not in the Champions League. So we're going to have to pay a bit more than what we probably might like to. Everyone sees it, but Manchester United every player we always buy comes with a premium. So, we can have a go at United for that, but City paid 100 mil for Grealish.
Yeah, no.
Chelsea paid next to 100 mil for Lukaku, who scored,
10,
whatever goals.
Yeah,
that he scored last season. You want more than that from a £90 million striker. Now he's on loan back at the club where you bought him from. So, these things happen, and I don't, and that's not me having a go at City and Chelsea for that, because at the end of the day, you wanted the player.
Yeah.
That was the fee. You were willing to pay it.
Yeah.
The opposite club, and who wouldn't have thought that Lukaku failed like he did, and Grealish is still finding his way at City, but still a very talented footballer.
Yeah.
So that's not to disrespect that in any. You pay what you're going to pay for players.
Yeah. From the outside looking in, I think you've paid probably about 15, 20 too much.
Yeah, but 15, 20 mil to us.
Yeah.
If he helps us get in the Champions League with that, is that 15, 20 mil worth it?
Yeah.
You'd say yeah, and that is because clubs know that we're desperate for players, and we need attackers.
We will see in the longer term.
Yeah, and I thought, by the way, his interview that he did, Anthony, last week with Fabrizio Romero, that was odd.
I didn't see it.
That was odd. Well, he came out and basically said, "I've told the club since February I wanted to leave."
All right.
And then because Ajax apparently were saying that, we can't let you go because we haven't had enough time to, there won't be enough time to find a replacement for you. And he's been like, well, I told you in February I wanted to go, so what's taking so long? And so he forced his way out of Ajax essentially.
Yeah, because he downed tools and didn't
get
want
his
to train
move.
and didn't want to play. Yeah.
So he's done that. He's got his move. But now he needs to prove it. Now he needs, forget the transfer fee. That's irrelevant. Now he needs to come and prove why he wants to be a Manchester United footballer.
So is that Frankie de Jong dead in the water now, do you think?
Possibly from a financial point of view, probably makes it a bit more difficult to happen.
Will he end up somewhere else?
Well, what I was about to say is it doesn't necessarily, it might mean a different structure. It might mean that you go for a loan.
Yeah, with an option to buy.
Exactly, and do it that way.
Mandatory.
Obviously, Barca want the cash, but I think they'd quite like to get the wage bill down anyway, so that they can, because the wage bill's the thing that's stopping them registering their players.
Yeah.
So if they can get players off the wage bill, obviously Memphis is getting close to leaving as well. And I don't know if you saw all the hoo-ha on Twitter yesterday.
No.
This would have been Monday.
Yeah.
So Memphis and Frankie were seeing boarding a plane to London.
I did see that. Yes. They were on their way to London for a wedding. Yeah.
Well, they weren't.
Oh, they weren't.
Apparently, because it wasn't Van der Beek's wedding at all.
Oh.
But they had been given 2 days off, and they might have just been travelling to London. But who knows what's happening? If there is discussions happening.
Interesting city to go and visit.
Exactly. They might have just been having a couple of days, but it's a bit odd that they were both going, right?
I'd probably gone to Paris if I had an option. Yeah.
It's a bit odd. It's a bit odd. It's a bit odd.
To be in the UK.
I don't know what's going on.
Ready for the transfer deadline.
Yeah.
All they need is Peter Ogdenwingy.
Exactly. Maybe that's it. Maybe he rocked up to Stamford Bridge yesterday, Frankie, and no one was there. So what are you doing here?
Just driving up and down the Chelsea Road.
Yeah, he's going, come on. But they weren't seen other than at the airport, so they weren't seen at anybody's training grounds or anybody's offices or anything like that. So they probably were just coming to visit friends.
Yeah.
Because they have, there will be people that they know who live in England.
Oh yeah, I'm not doubting that.
So, but it is strange, isn't it, that they both came to England.
They've only been seen at the airport and not been seen since.
Not been seen since, yeah, you know what I mean. They weren't seen travelling to anywhere.
An unmarked
that
car.
may have indicated a. Yeah, but people would have seen them driving into training grounds, wouldn't they?
I mean, the amazing thing about football in the 21st century is that things can happen anywhere. You can have medicals inside hotel rooms, for example. All you need is a doctor.
All you need is a doctor, indeed. But yeah, so is the Frankie de Jong deal dead in the water?
For you, probably.
No. If they'd accept a structural change, I don't necessarily think that. In terms of us paying under the original terms of what we went out to Barcelona, what we agreed with Barcelona earlier in the summer, probably not under those terms because we've had to switch and make sure we've got another target. Yeah, and we have spent, we went out, probably Casemiro was someone that might have been on our list, but we thought was unachievable. Because why would Casemiro want to leave Real Madrid?
Yeah.
And obviously we paid 60 million there, so that's in that area of the pitch we've spent money.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I still think if the opportunity came and there was a deal that could be done, I think 100% Erik ten Hag would want Frankie de Jong to come to Manchester United, or at least put something on the table to give him that option.
I reckon he's going to end up at Chelsea.
Yeah, well, he's been linked with Liverpool as well. Don't forget now.
Yeah, but
so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
The thing with Chelsea is that if they've got a player that they want to buy,
I think that's one that's
got a number down.
Yeah, I think that's one that's going to go down to deadline day, though. I think we'll hear a couple things about Frankie de Jong on deadline day. Whether anything actually happens, I'm not sure. I think my personal thing, I think he'll probably end up staying at Barca.
Potentially. Yeah.
I think that's probably what happens as much because of the whole contractual issue. I just don't see a situation where he leaves.
Yeah.
at this point. But we'll see.
We will.
We shall see. Plenty going on there. Yeah, so we had a good result against Southampton.
Yeah.
It was a good goal from Fernandez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really good, tidy finish, but not too much going on in that game. Same elsewhere, really.
Yeah.
Brentford Everton.
Everton
Anthony
scored in the
Gordon
first half.
I know. Shocker. Shocker. Everton went in the lead.
Yeah. And then run done right at the end.
Yeah, near the end. And, I thought Brentford was a better team, to be honest.
Yeah.
Overall. I felt, but they got the goal, Everton, and they did hang on.
Yeah.
For as long as they could.
Mm-hmm.
Brighton, impressive again. Early doors.
Yeah. Could be top of the table by the time you hear this.
Maybe, yeah. They're playing as we speak.
First time in their 124-year history, if they do.
That'd be good if it happens overnight, of course.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Fulham, we've talked about.
West Ham, Fornals, good goal.
West Ham, yeah, good goal from Fornals. Villa are another team who are in trouble right now.
Yeah, Steven Gerrard's not far behind Brendan Rodgers in the queue for. He's going to be next.
he's gonna be under a bit of pressure because they've spent as well.
Mm-hmm.
Villa.
Did you hear what he said earlier, though, Steven Gerrard?
No, I didn't. I missed his press conference.
He said that just take what happened to Arsenal last season and look where they are now. To compare Villa and
okay, Steve. Okay. Yeah, because you're on a level with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Stevie will be looking for a new club soon.
Potentially. Yeah.
West Ham, much needed win for West Ham.
Yeah, first goal of the season for them as well.
Yeah, first goal, first win. Gets them up and running. Much needed. And they've obviously just brought Paqueta in.
Yes, that's a big
51 million.
Deal. Yeah.
Big money deal for them. But again, it's what they're, the market this summer's been pretty crazy anyway in terms of
well, it seems to be the Premier League clubs that have got all the money.
Yeah.
Because all the other countries.
Well, not anymore. We've given them all else. Everyone else has got it now. But yeah, big move for there. I think he'll definitely improve them.
He will, yeah. He's an option really behind the striker, isn't he? And he's got that little bit of a X factor about him.
I agree. And then Forest Spurs, I think, is the only game we haven't really covered.
Yeah. Not
good. Again, lots of Spurs played well.
Yeah.
Forest had chances though.
Yeah. And had it just been a battle in the midfield, Nottingham Forest would have won the game. But it was in both boxes where they lost it.
Well, yeah, they didn't score, and then obviously when you've got Kane on the opposition, you can always find a finish from somewhere. And he did what bookended his goals really.
Yeah. What is your opinion on the Steve Cook non-red card? Should he have been sent off? Because I think he should have been.
I'd need to look at it again.
Well, he's denying a goal-scoring opportunity. Now, whether they've said, because he's challenging with Harry Kane, it's not going to go in the net. If Steve Cook isn't there, Harry Kane scores. Any striker worth his salt scores from 4 yards.
But,
the header at the back
you
post.
say that. We've seen worse.
Yeah, we have seen worse in terms of decisions, but I thought it was very, very odd that he didn't get sent off.
Yeah, maybe. But, missed the penalty.
Yes, he did. First one in 22 attempts Harry Kane has missed.
All those England practices with Dean Henderson.
Yeah, well, it's the second time he's done it this season, Dean Henderson.
Yeah, to a fellow
English player. Yeah. Did you see the Richarlison thing?
Oh, what an idiot.
I love him. I love him already. He's played for about an hour for us, and I love him.
I absolutely... You know what I loved? The bit where he got swiped.
Yeah, but...
That was the best bit. No, you don't do that. You're 2-0 up.
No.
You're 2-0 up. Not even for... If it was Arsenal, you'd be like, yeah, you know what, fair enough. He's a rival.
He's wasting
but
time.
Against Forest.
He's not...
Against Forest.
He's not...
No. You're 2-0 up. What you need to waste time for?
Because it was only about 5 minutes
It was the 87th minute.
Yeah.
Get out of it. No, I'm sorry. You're not having that one. If it's like against a rival,
yeah.
you're doing it against a rival, but I'll back that a bit. I back it because it's the banter that goes with it. But you're playing Nottingham Forest. You're 2-0 up. You don't need to do that.
I just thought
You don't need to do it.
thought it was
And
funny.
I think Conte had a go at him as well for it.
Fair enough.
No, I'm sorry, I can't. You're not. It's not as if you're playing. It's not as if you're beating City 4-0. You're playing Nottingham Forest, who are probably in a relegation battle, and you're showing them a bit of disrespect, really.
Yeah, Steve Cooper wasn't very happy about it either.
So the best part of it was when he got taken out. He got absolutely nailed, and you know what? I'm surprised there wasn't about 3 or 4 of them that went in on him at one time.
But that's what we need. Because
I would have done that.
We need somebody who's got
it.
a little bit arrogance about him. Like it.
I'd have gone through him. I'd have taken the red card, actually. I wouldn't last 5 minutes. I'd have taken the red card. That'd have been a studs up moment. He's taking the piss.
Yeah.
That's what would have happened. It's just there's no need for it. He's not a, you know what I mean? No, there's no need for it against Nottingham Forest. If it's Arsenal, fair enough. You want to wind your rivals up, don't you? I get it.
He just wants to wind anybody up. I looked at it.
No, can't back that. Idiot. Right. So yeah, that's all your Premier League games kind of wound up this week. Fairly simple, not too much other than what we've discussed to go through. So, shall we have a look around the world?
Let's go around the world, shall we? There's lots of stuff interestingly going on around the world. Shall we start in League One, where the first big game of the season saw PSG take on Monaco. It finished 1-1. Alexis Sanchez and Nuno Tavares scored as Marseille won 3-0 ahead of their trip to North London next week in the Champions League. In La Liga, Jules Koundé has finally been registered, and he started as Barcelona beat Valladolid 4-0. Real Madrid left it late to beat Espanyol 3-1 thanks to 2 goals from Karim Benzema. In Italy, Lazio beat Inter 3-1. Roma drew with Juventus 1 each as Milan won 2-0. For those keeping tab, there were 25 goals in Serie A this week compared to the 13 from last. In Germany, Werder Bremen were involved in yet another high-scoring game, but this time they lost 4-3 to Eintracht Frankfurt. Bayern left it late to secure a point at home to Mönchengladbach thanks to Leroy Sané. Things aren't getting any better for Wayne Rooney as his DC United side lost 3-2 to Atalanta United. Austin FC and LAFC had a mass brawl in the first half because someone tried to push someone over a advertising hoarding, I believe. In the EFL, the managerial merry-go-round has begun as it has in the Premier League. Rochdale have appointed Jim Bentley to replace Robbie Stockdale. Alex Neil has swapped Sunderland for Stoke, and Tony Mowbray looks like he's going to take over at Sunderland to take his place. And finally, Bournemouth weren't the only side to lose 9-0 this weekend. Dundee United were beaten by the same scoreline by Celtic, costing Jack Ross his job after 7 games in charge.
Lots going on. A big goal for Ravel Morrison as well in that DC United game.
There was, yeah.
Good finish from the edge of the box. I wish Ravel. Everyone you ever hear talk about Ravel Morrison says what a talented footballer he really was.
Yes. And what a waste.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame. But there we are. Not everybody makes it. Hard work and dedication, you see. You need
Indeed.
it. Okay, so that's taken us around the world. How is our Football Manager Wonder Kid from 2016, Donis Avdijaj, getting on?
Well, FC Zurich have qualified for the Europa League, and they've drawn Arsenal in their group as well, which is a very, very, very fun thing for us. Obviously, we get to cover Europa League games as well with FC Zurich. Not so much luck in the league this weekend. They were beaten 4-2 by Basel, which is not unexpected because Basel are, one of the better teams in the league. But that is their first win of the season, Basel. So
really,
yeah.
They had a slow start.
They've had a slow start. So yeah, FC Zurich are without a win so far this season.
Intriguing stuff for Donis. Hopefully things start to improve for FC Zurich soon.
Yeah, one thing I have noticed with Donis, he does love a yellow card.
Does. Yeah. Is he been booked again?
Been booked again, yeah.
Nice. Good work, Donis.
Well done,
we love to see it. At least it's something to get yourself on the match report.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, you can't get a goal, get a yellow card, I'm on the match report. Everyone still sees my name.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so we've got the transfer window coming up. Obviously, we've talked about a few. Well, the deadline day's coming up. We've talked about a few things we might see. Is there anything else we kind of think is worthy of discussion?
Cristiano Ronaldo for me.
Day? Ronaldo, I honestly don't know. I couldn't tell you what's going to happen with Ronaldo. You see, all the indications to me, are that he's probably going to stay.
Yeah, potentially.
Just because there's not enough momentum out there for me for one club that is like, yeah, okay, the momentum's there. He's linked with. Well, I mean, Napoli's the latest one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, that's okay. And like him coming out and saying, "I will talk all in this interview in 2 weeks," which apparently is due sometime this week.
Oh, okay.
Well, in terms of the timeline,
right,
that he stated. So I don't know, because even when he said, he's like, that feels to me like a staying thing to say. Like, oh well, I'll tell the truth in an interview in 2 weeks. Yeah. Well, that kind of means to say that you think a lot of people are talking rubbish.
Potentially.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. And if he went at this stage, leave United in the poo.
Yes, they would. Yeah, yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Because who are we gonna play up front? Martial can't stay fit as good as the pre-season that he had, and the decent performance he had in the second half against Liverpool.
Yeah. Could Anthony play that number 9 role?
I don't know. I think he's more of a right winger myself.
Okay.
You'd have to. I haven't watched him play enough Anthony other than his highlight reel. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? To understand his positioning and whatever. So.
One to keep your eye on.
I think we have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've been linked with a couple of people now for loan deals for potential strikers. Barcelona, I can't remember.
Dest.
No, Dest. Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
Dest was the one I saw.
Yeah, and Memphis Depay is still out there. We've been linked with him, a return for him to the club. Yeah. He's played through the middle for Barca a lot. We even got linked with Aubameyang as well, didn't we? At one point this week. We're getting linked with everyone.
Yeah, Aubameyang to Chelsea's probably going to be another one that.
Yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah, that'll probably happen.
Yannick Carrasco's one that's come to light in the last day or two. Coming to us potentially from Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
I love Yannick Carrasco. Always a go-to player for me.
Yeah, well, Reguilon went the other way, didn't he?
Yeah, Reguilon's gone today. Yeah, Winks is off to Sampdoria. So that's cleared the decks in terms of the 4 that we wanted that weren't going to be part of the first team picture gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we said we'd get one more. So, yeah, if Yannick Carrasco's that man, I will be delighted, but I don't really know what's going to happen there. There's a big release clause on his contract, €60 million.
Like I said earlier, I think Newcastle will have a trick up their sleeve.
They will, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Asensio ends up at Arsenal.
Yeah.
On loan, possibly.
Obviously, they do have a good relationship
with Real as well in terms of Odegaard.
And we get to this point, loans tend to be the moves, don't they? As well,
loan with an option to buy or a loan with an obligation to buy. Yeah.
Yeah. But even more just okay, we'll get this on the line. We'll worry about a transfer fee later. Kind of thing.
Yeah, because obviously it's a lot quicker to do a loan than it is to do a transfer because there's not that much to talk about with a loan deal.
Yeah. And then we've got, I think Everton need to do
to keep hold of Gordon first and foremost.
Yeah, but they need to do a bit. Villa probably want to do some business.
Yeah, West Ham will probably want to bring in another couple.
Yeah, so there's plenty still that I think could happen.
Wilf Zaha's another one that might.
I don't see him moving.
I don't see him happening, going. But you never know.
I don't see how. You know what I mean? When he went back to Crystal Palace after United, he's just kind of.
He's learned his
lessons. Almost as if he kind of. It's almost as if he kind of said to himself, "No, this is where I need to be," or even the message that he sends out to everyone else is, "I'm a Crystal Palace player." It would take them getting relegated, I think.
Yeah. Probably.
Him to move at this point, I would think.
One that might happen. Manchester City are looking at a centre half, a Kanji from Borussia Dortmund.
Okay, yeah.
£17 million, but he's in the final year of his contract.
You take that, don't you?
Yeah.
If they think he's a player that is the quality that they need, 17 mil, you take that right now, don't you?
Yeah. Justin Kluivert as well, coming to the Premier League potentially. Willian
Yeah, saw
coming
him.
back to the Premier League potentially as well.
I think Williams
Is he done?
had a medical today. I think.
Did he pass the medical?
At
Biggest
Fulham,
thing.
wasn't it?
Yeah, Fulham is the place that he's probably going to end up.
Yeah,
at.
he's been training. Well, he's been training with them, hasn't he? And I think that's sort of happening, that deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Willian there. Well, there'll be plenty of stuff, and stuff will happen that we don't expect.
Yeah, there's always a last day one. Oh, okay.
Yeah. If we can get an odd and wingy turning up, you know what I mean?
It's going to be Memphis
Classic.
Depay and Frankie de Jong in the back of a taxi somewhere.
Yeah. Well, no, because they should be back in Barcelona now.
Wow.
Because they only had 2 days off. They had 2
Mm,
days off, so they should be back in Barcelona. They should be back training today.
maybe not.
But we'll see. Yeah, but that'll be the thing. If they don't turn, well, no, sorry, it was Monday, wasn't it? So it would be Monday, Tuesday was their days off. So if they don't turn up to training tomorrow,
Then
That's-
all
that-
hell is
that's the
going to
thing.
break loose.
yeah, Twitter's going to be on a meltdown. Football Twitter's going to melt down tomorrow if those two don't turn up to Barca training tomorrow. Let me tell you,
And of course,
But
we'll
yeah.
catch you up on all the big deals next week.
we will indeed, and I think that's it for this week.
Pretty much, apart from me taking through all the fixtures
Yeah.
for this weekend.
Yeah, we'll go through the fixtures for this weekend. Obviously not the midweek games because they'll probably have happened by the time you maybe listen to this. So
I'll take it away for match
Take it
day
away.
6. So, the Merseyside derby starts the weekend. Everton taking on Liverpool. That is a big game for both sides, particularly Everton, obviously, at this current point in time. Tottenham take on Fulham on the 3 o'clock games. Nottingham Forest take on Bournemouth. Chelsea take on West Ham. Brentford take on Leeds. Wolves take on Southampton. And Newcastle take on Crystal Palace. The 5:30 game is at Villa Park. Aston Villa versus Manchester City. Then there's 2 games on Sunday. Brighton against Leicester, which is a big game for Leicester. And one of the biggest games in the Premier League calendar, Manchester United taking on Arsenal.
yeah, it's going to be. It's always a. I think this year in particular, I think the feistiness might come back into
Yes.
this one. I just, you feel. You have a look at some of the characters now in both the teams. I think it's never going to be Keane Vieira, don't get me wrong, but I think we might start to see a little bit of feist because both teams are kind of at that point in progression now. Obviously, we're far behind them at this point than we'd like to be. I think when you add in the character, I think Bruno's always up for a fight. Martinez has shown that he's up for a fight.
Yeah.
Add the spice of Casemiro into Casemiro versus Xhaka.
Yeah.
In the middle of a park could get
I
tasty.
think Casemiro's going to eat him alive. But
Oh, 100% quality wise. But I mean, in terms of attitude and fight and a bit of feistiness between the two players, don't get me wrong, not on a level, nowhere near the level.
That's like Game of Thrones. That's like the Mountain against the little fella. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, against Tyrion maybe.
Where he pokes his eyes out. That guy.
Yeah. But before you right, you've misunderstood. Right, we're gonna have a Game of Thrones kind of lesson here, guys. So the Viper, as he is, or Pedro Pascal, as he's known in his real world, or the Mandalorian in other worlds, right? He beat the Mountain. He beaten him.
Yeah.
His problem was his arrogance at the end because he wanted him to admit to the atrocities. Spoiler alert. So that was why he got cocky at the end. That was the difference.
But I need to put my line in. Arsenal being in front of Manchester United, you hate to see it.
Yeah, 8 was it 8 points?
8-2 see it.
Oh, 8-2 see it. Okay, yeah. Okay, about that. But can we have another one of them this weekend, please? Thank you.
I don't think it's going to happen, mate. I really don't.
Thank you. Anthony just rocked up, scores hat-trick on debut. Come on.
I mean, yeah.
We'll take them all day.
Stranger
We need
things have
Ashley Young.
happened.
Yeah, we need Ashley Young back to come and put one in the top corner against them again. Anyway, we digress.
We
digress.
We do.
We'll be back next week with all the catch-up from deadline day and all the fallout from the weekend's games. And we'll discuss it. If there's anything interesting happens in the midweek games, we'll pick those up too. Yeah. But if you wanna get in touch with us in the meantime and tell us about how you're getting on, your football club, want us to talk more about what's going on elsewhere, let us know at footballpod. At Let's Football Pod, sorry, I should say on Twitter. letsfootballpod@gmail.com is how you can get in touch with us. Easy peasy. We'll be back next week, as we said. So for now, stay safe. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy the football, and we'll be back next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.